Karen, could you please take the roll?
Sure. Mr. Bale?
Here.
Mr. Copeland?
Here.
Mr. Drexel?
Here.
Mr. Horton?
Here.
Mrs. Showerman? Here. Mr. Scatella?
Here.
Mr. Winarski?
Here.
Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak? Public wish to speak?
Yeah, since Brendan's after, I understand, the first thing I heard of that's not in the new budget is the Human Relations Commission. And I will be going through to see what else I can figure out isn't in there. But I would certainly say that we need to have a Human Relations Commission in here county. And as somebody who's been advocating for people with disabilities ever since I moved here, I just think it's vital. And that's just one of the areas that the commission covers, so I hope that we can find a way to get it.
Going the third time. Anybody else wish to speak? Okay, move into the agenda. Item number 1, ordinance number 41, second 2025 planning fund budget supplemental appropriation of $601,000. And its first reading was tabled 9/23. Comments, concerns, thoughts? Paul, this is probably a conversation with Jessica, but I noticed that the awardees, potential awardees for the Act 13 Greenways in this ordinance are pretty similar, if not identical, list in the budget.
Correct.
What is the administration desiring?
Well, our feeling was, since
to do?
you as a group tabled this, if, it doesn't get through this go round, we put it in the budget and take it from there.
And if we were to untable it,
Then we just
would we
leave it
then
out of the
remove
budget.
it from the budget?
Yep.
Appreciate your input. Number 2, ordinance number 42, first 2025 mental health intellectual disabilities fund budget supplemental appropriation of $1.2 million. At first read on 9/23. Any comments, thoughts? Moving on to number 3, resolution number 21, appointment of firm to perform comprehensive single audit for Erie County related funds for the year ending December 31st, 2025. At a first read at 9/23. Issues, questions, concerns? Number 4, resolution number 22, amending resolution number 12, 2012, previously amended by resolution number 26, 2015. I don't know if you guys saw in the inbox. I can't remember who all the email was copied. You have a copy of a new resolution with your materials that Tom had drafted. Some changes. Appreciate those changes. Did you can speak to any of those changes at all? So,
Mr. Chair, Colin worked with me on that resolution. Procedurally, at the meeting, you would move to strike the resolution that's on the agenda and then add the revised resolution to the agenda and then vote on it.
in the meeting. Questions, thoughts?
A point of procedure as well. In amending the agenda, if it's a procedural amendment, the amendments should, just to speed things up, like say, for example, you're moving 3 different ordinances to a second reading, announcing that at the beginning of the meeting and getting a vote at the beginning of the meeting on amendments like that don't touch the language of the ordinances or not substantive. That's all well and good, but it makes more sense and it's clearer to the public when you move to amend the revision or the ordinance or the language at the time and after it's been the ordinance, the original ordinance has been moved and seconded. then that's when the motion to amend should come.
So you're saying that seems to conflict with your first statement to strike and add it to the agenda. You're saying instead untable, motion to amend.
Well, the motion to, in this case, you have a motion to strike as well. But, it's also, a motion to strike is just more emphatic and definitive than a motion to amend. But you're kind of amending the ordinance at the same time. But the public appreciates it when, if you come to an ordinance like this, it's read, it's moved and seconded, and then when you move to strike it and amend the agenda to put the new ordinance on, because of that chronology and that they understand what's going on, as opposed to if you say that at the beginning, and then a half hour later, an hour later, you get to the ordinance, it's kind of lost.
So take it off the table, move it forward first and second, then amend.
Well, I was just talking generally about the procedure and when,
Oh, no, I got it. I'm
When
just saying
council
when
should
it
amend.
does come up and when we do get, as opposed to doing it at the beginning of the meeting.
right,
You're saying when the vote comes up to untable it, we'll untable it, and then you'll come back and you'll do the first and second motion. And then at that point, you move to amend or strike.
right, exactly.
Just procedure.
And if this makes it easier, been thinking about it. Generally, I mean, I like the idea of amending the policy. I think that we should look at that. Given that we're in the heat of we're getting into the heat of the budget cycle. I almost feel like I would prefer dealing with this item at a later time. Not that I'm against it, not that, I think that we probably should have 3 months on hand, but I'm a little bit, we got a lot on our plates, and I'm a little bit concerned about putting an ordinance in place that could have unforeseen consequences. Going,
Well, I don't know what unforeseen consequences will occur out of here, but what I do know is that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania hasn't adopted a budget yet.
Mm.
And that's what's driving this.
Mr.
Any of
Chair,
that other stuff, I don't know.
Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, I'd like to just kind of provide some information that, I know there's some questions regarding this, resolution or ordinance, last finance meeting, and so I just kind of want to break some things up. The first on is I was looking to see, to Charlie's question about other counties. I did find that Cumberland County does target 100 days as a reserve. I did find that, and Montgomery also targets about 2.4 months, a little bit shy of what the 3. It's a weird target, but about 2.4 months. In York County is around 3-month policy. Now, going back to some of the impacts that the state budget delay has impacted other counties. I know we are Erie County, but I think it's kind of informative to kind of see what happens when we don't take action. Westmoreland County, which is about the same size as Erie County, their budget's about $100 million less, but same kind of breakdown, 51% of the funding is passed through from state and federal. They have blown through $31 million of their reserves. They are now furloughing 125 county employees. They are suspending services and shutting down services to make ends meet. Armstrong County has closed the senior centers and laid off staff also on furloughs. Northampton County has announced plans to lay off and suspend human services or reduce those. Lancaster and Chester counties have stated statewide reporting issues and now is furloughing employees and shutting down services. Luzerne County has faced a $6.4 million state funding hold, and they're short, and they're now at a critical juncture due to delays, not sure how they're going to be able to fund the services. Lastly, Dauphin County has actually liquidated its investments and now is worse off because they had to bridge the gap in funding. So they liquidated their investments and now they're losing $300,000 a year annual revenue, which they're now going to be going after the state in a lawsuit, from what my understanding is. But a lot of these other counties are hurting. Westmoreland being the pretty good comparison example to Erie County, given its size, its demographic, and the context of its budget being very similar in breakdowns, but federal funding. now to your point of, we are in the middle of a budget and we don't want to have the unforeseen consequences. Now, based on the budget that was proposed October 1st, it says there will be a $25 million roughly excess of, we're in excess of $25 million. If this ordinance were to pass, we would then be in excess $17 million minus the drawdown from the general fund, if the administration budget were to pass as is today, which would still put us with $13 million in reserve as the current administration budget is currently outlined at. Just for context, if we adopt the 3-month policy specifically. If we want to move and hold off on this until after the budget, I completely understand that sentiment. Just some information I think is relevant to the conversation.
Appreciate the information. I share all those concerns.
I think,
My concern is only in timing. That if we're going to have a new financial policy in place, I would like to have an administration that plans around that for the duration of the year. 8 months prior to the budget being announced and proposed. That's my only concern with that. Yes, Mr. Orr.
I think ideally I would agree with you. If we weren't in the middle of a budget impasse. It's far, I think they were supposed to do it in June, like October. So I would absolutely agree with you if it wasn't for these circumstances.
All right, well, that's, anybody else, any comments? All right, it's currently tabled, so we'll have to deal with that in the next meeting. Resolution number 23, approval extension agreement for 5-year lease renewal. Cultural Center for Erie County Office of Drug and Alcohol, first read at 9/23. Moving to a second, the next meeting. Any issues with that? Moving on, ordinance, general fund budget waiver of county purchasing code for a 3-year contract for Westlaw subscription for Judges Library. Wait very patiently.
That's all right.
Appreciate your time.
Patient person, generally. And I have a little bit of just a script. Public speaking is not a forte of mine, so I'd rather just read from this if you could indulge me. Thank you. I'm requesting a purchasing code waiver for the renewal of a Westlaw subscription, a computer-assisted legal research system utilized by the Erie County judges, the judicial law clerks, the juvenile court master, and the law librarian. That's me, Max Keister. The vendor is the Thomson Reuters Company, a major publisher of legal materials, both print and electronic. The proposed contract covers a 3-year period running from March 2026 through February 2029. A justification statement, proposed contract, and a sole source designation memorandum are available for your review. The court has been using Westlaw for 25 years through several upgrades of its search platforms. The present platform, Westlaw Edge, is to be retired in early 2026 with replacement by an artificial intelligence AI assisted research system called Westlaw Precision, offering faster and more efficient research capabilities. Westlaw is a sole source provider because of the advanced technology, unique editorial enhancements, and the exclusive content provided through its databases. Thomson Reuters is a publisher of the many authoritative Pennsylvania-specific secondary sources and national legal treatises included in the Westlaw subscription. The financial terms of the contract are detailed in my justification statement and appear on the attachment to the proposed contract. There is a significant increase in the first period of the new contract over the present period of the existing 2-year contract, which had been shorter than the usual 3-year renewals because of the anticipated retirement of the current search platform. It is standard for the increase to be higher in the initial period of a contract than the annual 5% adjustments in subsequent periods. A major factor in contract pricing is the introduction of significant enhancements. The integration of the advanced technology and the upgraded search platform is a key component in the new agreement. The law library's proposed 2026 budget reflects the pricing of the renewed contract and includes the final 2 months of the present contract and the first 10 months of the new agreement. The Westlaw subscription is budgeted under a budget account reserved for this expenditure. And thank you for your patience with me in the consideration of this request.
Professional.
I just want to say, you are always professional and you're always a gentleman. And I want to thank you because the community that I know, including a couple of my own children, actually come down and utilize the law library. And I've heard nothing but great things about the help that you and your staff provide. So thank you.
Well, I'm on the staff too,
Mhm.
not one-person operation. I'm thinking of cloning myself, but
My son Aaron, he comes down all the time.
pleasant young man.
Yeah,
Thank you again.
thank you so much.
Moving on to number 7, resolution county council approval of the 2025 CCAP electors. They look very familiar. It was on our agenda prior. Ellen very graciously pointed out in there that we do have voting membership for the fall meeting for CCAP. Resolutions in front of us in the same manner that it was before. There's any questions on that? Concerns? And then moving on to number 8, a resolution of council regarding the death of Marcello Woodard. In the agenda packet is the 3rd draft. We'll bring the feedback from the last meeting. Thoughts, concerns, any issues with language? I really want to earn your guys' vote on this. If there's any issues that anybody has, I know one of the questions that was asked of me separately was regarding whether our non-interference clause in the home rule charter, prevents us from directing the staff of any office or anybody working for the county to do X, Y, and Z. So I did change the one sentence there to recommend that we review our policies because we can't officially dictate that they should do so.
I raised that question, so I really appreciate it. And I did see that you did that too. I thought that was fair. It made it more available.
We're still kind of leaving with our solicitor, but his recommendations not to do this. And items 2 and 3 almost insinuate that it isn't that way now.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean? Items 2 and 3.
Well, the policies aren't regularly updated and they're not aligned with best standards. It just makes it sound like we're not doing what we should be doing now, and they are. And emphasize de-escalation, I believe that's always emphasized.
Yeah, I suppose this ordinance is mostly a statement of belief, right? That this should be done. I think there are valid concerns that community members want to make sure that is occurring, and I think that affirming as an elected official and a leader that is and should be best practice.
But you wouldn't put in there continues to thoroughly review and regularly update?
I'm amenable to that change.
I'm amenable to that friendly amendment as well. It's very thoughtful.
Chris, I'm
I'm just concerned with what Tom's recommendations are and what we're doing.
I'm amenable to that change, but also with number 2 and 3, like in my workplace, I assume we all have standards, right? Regulations that we're supposed to follow, processes that we're supposed to follow. And if one of those processes break down, I don't go back and someone tells me, I know you got this and you know this is the right way to do it and just move forward. Like there's a correction status that goes through with that, right? So maybe you have to recertify, or maybe you have to take a behavior management course. Maybe it's a disciplinary action, right? That has to be, like, all that has to be determined. And I believe the language in this is just stating that again, right? Like if I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of place, but if there's an incident that involved an officer, they have a process they have to follow. Everything kind of gets secured, people get talked to, and then they determine an outcome. That outcome could involve a number of things, and that's all that I think that's really stating. It's not pointing a finger to say, hey, you're not doing this now. It's just a reaffirmation of
It's
that.
across to me like it does, and I think it almost.
Well, again, I'm
insinuates-
amenable to the change.
But it also
I just-
almost insinuates guilt when we're still in an ongoing investigation.
I don't see that in
I
there.
don't see that in
Guilt
there.
or anywhere in there.
And which
Well,
way
when
though?
you're recommending those
Well,
things.
it's
like
not
we
about
don't-
That's
guilt or
that's a
innocence.
pretty
It's
big leap,
It's just
though.
a corrective action,
Usually-
or, I just, I was saying, like, I'm open to the change of language. I mean, we shouldn't be like making the pathway easier for their process, right? And that if we get to where we're like, you should continue, it's like, we know everything's cool going forward and just keep doing what you're doing. And that's not really, that's not always the case, right?
Also
So,
requires training or reevaluation.
I mean, and the body cameras, I mean, that's where everybody's. That's just my 2 cents, is all I'm giving in that aspect. Like, I'm open to changing language, but I also understand that there's consequences to actions and there's a process that has to be followed, and that's.
And number 3 is not being
Yeah,
done.
number 3 is.
It's not being done currently. I don't have the firm numbers. I did see that they just came over to me. But anecdotally, somewhere around the cost that would be about $100,000 a year over 3 years for all of our departments. Somewhere around that amount. And I'll be getting the specific details shortly. So it's,
What are you thinking?
Well, let's remember that this isn't a law. Okay, nobody has to follow this.
And that's all I was going to say.
It's a resolution, it's just a recommendation. If, again, I haven't changed my view, but paragraph 2 or paragraph 3, where you say council commits, you may want to say recommend. Like you do in the second paragraph.
But what about your philosophy on it still
Oh, it
being
hasn't
an
changed. I mean,
ongoing investigation, then you don't think we should be addressing?
I do not recommend you.
And the good thing about that is, drum roll. Nothing legally. We pay him to do legal. We're elected to make political decisions. So I'm very, very grateful for those political sentiments. We find ourselves in this space and time. Things that we're elected to do. I don't think this is such a leap. I don't think this insinuates that any fault or wrong or anything. And I disagree with our attorney politically on this one. When we got people coming down here throwing bricks every day. verbal bricks. I vehemently disagree with him.
I think people can express their ideas individually, but I don't believe that this is the job of council.
Any other comments?
A few words in like 2 and 3.
I think those are fair changes. I don't think it changes the sentiment or the belief. So I'm very much okay with that. I'll send the revision over to the clerk as soon as I make it. Pretty simple exchange. But, all right, and yes, Mr. Horn.
Before you end the meetings from a personnel matter, more I came prepared to be prepared. One of my appointees is stepping down. I've been waiting for a resume all afternoon that I haven't received, or else I'd have presented it today. As soon as I get it, I want to forward it to you because I want it on the agenda for Tuesday. So replacement, Christine Rush is stepping down. Looks like she's gonna be Judge Rush. And I want to put someone forward to finish the remainder of her term. No. So, but I didn't want to spring that Tuesday on for the staff. And I'll forward
Which
that
committee is that
resume
for?
to you.
Which committee is that?
The Erie County Land Bank. She's gonna be a replacement for Christine Rush, going to finish out the duration of her term, which is, I think, in early 27.
Paul, if you,
His name is Scotty Harris. He works at Erie Insurance. He trains the neighborhood watch stuff.
yeah, I apologize. What was that? What's the appointment for again?
Erie County Land Bank.
Oh, yes. Oh, she's really gonna be missed there.
She is gonna be, so I've been looking long and hard for the last couple of months for a replacement.
Paul, if you got anything for,
No, not tonight.
Just a reminder that tomorrow at 10, we're invited to tour part of the library.
Oh, I love that.
It's done, it's at 10 o'clock. The park at the intermodal, however you say that. Park there and go in the employees entrance at the library. They'll meet us there at 10 o'clock.
I hear it's
And I know
really
you-
stunning.
I know that you can't come because you're going down to the commissioners meeting. I'll be working on it. Charlie's working, but
I can go with the public on Saturday.
it's Saturday, public sort too.
nothing else? Motion to adjourn.
To the one Detroit.